Okay. Okay, hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be way different than any video I've ever uploaded onto my channel before, but that's because I still have my lanyard on from the convention. We went today to the Apparel Textile Sourcing convention, and they have little talks and seminars, and there are textile vendors, fabric vendors. Would you call it a vendor?
They're textile vendors, yeah.
Vendors. And then there were various manufacturers there that we were able to talk to. And honestly, I think that we saw a lot of things, but I think that when you go to conventions like this, if you can, I was speaking to my brother-in-law today because he is really knowledgeable about this type of event. And he was saying if you can get 10% out of it, if 10% of what's there is worth it for your business, then the trip is worth it. And I would say that we found a lot of things that are going to be really helpful with what we're doing, and so we're going to kind of talk about that. So this is Carrie. Carrie is one of my really good friends, and she has been helping me out with all sorts of different things throughout my life ever since we met, probably 6 or 7 years ago, I think. We met when I was an intern for Carrie's company called Pink Parasol Designs and coordinating now. At first it was just design, and now it's coordinating too. So they do wedding coordination and wedding design, which is gorgeous, and that's why I really fell in love with Carrie, is because of her vision with design. I'm gonna let her talk in a minute, but I have a lot to say about her. She went to Texas State for design. What is your degree?
It's fashion merchandising and consumer science.
Okay, that's really cool. See, stuff that I know nothing about. But she really just blew me away when we met so long ago. I was an intern for her company, but also I did modeling for her, styled shoots for her wedding, what would you call just styled shoots for just like wedding looks and designs for weddings.
Yeah, inspiring on blogs and stuff.
Yeah, you guys know that all those like layouts in the bridal magazines with all these really inspiring photos of wedding design. And so Carrie was really, and still is really good at setting up photo shoots. And when we do our photos with the girls, just my lifestyle photos that I've been posting lately on Instagram, Carrie helps me come up with concepts for those. And she really helps behind the scenes a lot with my business. And so now we're coming together to create an Aaryn Williams brand. Yay! So I feel like I was like, okay, Carrie, I'm gonna have you talk about all of this different stuff, and I think I pretty much just covered in a summary like exactly what we're doing, but I really wanted you to get to tell them whatever you want about yourself and why you want to work with me.
I want to work with you? I'm just kidding. So I've loved fashion my whole life, which is kind of ironic because most of my friends would call me a pretty big tomboy. I always knew I had a bigger sense for the business and trending side of it. So I decided when it came time to go to school that I wanted to go to a program that was heavy on the business side and merchandising. I spent a couple years after that trying to find my feet, and landed in the wedding industry very unintentionally, actually through photography initially. And the more I did that, the more I realized I liked the styling and the design side of it. And just kind of, Aaryn was actually very early on, before she was postal model for me before anybody knew who she was, and she was double booked.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And then right after that, we worked together, and we realized we had this really weird bond where we were both kind of the same sense of humor.
We have a lot in common.
Yeah. Both kind of enjoy the glitz and glam, but are just as comfortable in boots and on a four-wheeler and being dirty and stupid.
You have to tell them about what they said when we were at our first talk of the day, what the woman who was giving the speech said about, she was talking about like what you need to incorporate into your design for different states. And
oh yeah. She's like, so if you're in Texas or Florida, it should be pink and
a little bit of pink and a little bit of
glitter. And it's like, oh.
She started it out though with like, if you're in Seattle, obviously you're gonna need rainwear, which we're all kind of sitting there like, yeah, like we know we're gonna need rainwear if they're in Seattle. And then she we were just looked at each other because she mentions Texas and Florida. Says, if you're gearing this towards Texans and Floridians,
Florida, yeah, whatever. Texas or Florida.
Texas or Floridians, you're gonna need a little bit of pink and a little bit of glitz or whatever.
And I looked at Aaryn and I was like, so you're a basic Texas bee.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
But we both kind of are.
I feel like I'm known for pink and glitz.
Yeah, that's okay. We like you that way. It's fine.
It just is what it is. Sorry to interrupted you.
No, you're fine. So, yeah, she decided she wanted to intern for me, which basically meant she did a lot of bee work for me, but hopefully learned a lot. She's probably the only intern that I've ever had that didn't want to murder me by the time she left. And then she was like, oh, but I met this boy and he wants me to move to Houston. I was like, pfft.
We were like getting into,
it was Nick, me.
We were getting really like in deep to me becoming a coordinator for her.
Yeah.
And I was interning for you to become a coordinator.
Yeah.
At first I was just interning just because I needed any kind of internship. I didn't know if I wanted to be a planner or not. It was just kind of, I just started. I just loved what she did and I wanted to be a part of it. It's so beautiful. I was modeling for a shoot and decided I was in love. And then I realized that I really wanted to get into that. Carrie's what really inspired me to love event planning. And so I got that internship with Carrie, and right after that Nick asked me to move to Houston with him, and so I left. But had I stayed in Austin, I'd probably be working right now for Pink Parasol Designs and the Carrington, which is her venue. I would most likely be an employee of that. I think really honestly that would be where I was if I wouldn't have met Nick. Because then when I went to Houston, I had to find a company in Houston to intern for, which went great because I did a free, unpaid, year-long internship and then decided I didn't want to do it anymore because I did Etsy, glitter Yetis on Etsy. So it's crazy how it's kind of come full circle, but we have something really exciting in store for you guys. And we've been working on this for a few months, not a really long time. This isn't something that's been like in the works for a really long time now. This is all pretty new. I would say just a couple months.
Yeah.
And we just decided like, okay, we're gonna go for it, and we're gonna, you know, have small wins. It'll be a winding road, and we know that it's not gonna be easy. There's gonna be a lot of setbacks, and we kind of came here just hoping that we would get something out of this, and I felt so relieved today when we did. Because you never know, we could have come here and not taken anything away. We already have a meeting set up for tomorrow, and so I think that we're really starting to go down the right path.
I do too. I'm excited. Well, and I mean, Aaryn's always had a really strong vision of who she is and understanding the perfections and imperfections of the craziness that is her. And so, you know, she wanted to take control of her brand and her vision, and I really want to support that and be a part of that as much as possible, and make sure she's got awesome people around her. And I think we found some really good sources for that today.
And so what we've done so far is Carrie came up with various sketches for me. And what we did was we went through them together, and I talked about everything that I like, everything that I think is something that I would personally use and wear. That's a hint. But I told her the pieces that we needed to tweak and what I really loved about it. And we're in the process now of putting my edits on them and my just, I guess, the changes where I thought they should be made, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm not a mom, so there's obviously functional things that Aaryn brings to it as a perspective of about to be a mom of 3, as well as like making sure that it looks like Aaryn and it has the elements that breathe Aaryn and are really true to that. So
I will say though that when I saw the one that I chose, there are various sketches, but the one that really jumped out at me the most, I felt like was just absolutely everything me. Felt like it screamed Aaryn, and I guess that's, I mean, you obviously created it to be an Aaryn Williams design, but I just want you guys to know that even though I'm working with a designer, every single item that you see is gonna be very, very closely controlled by me.
Every time you see me from Instagram this week on my computer, it's because I'm making edits that she specifically requested. This needs to be this way, this needs to be here, this needs to be, okay, I got you, boo.
Yeah,
I got you.
I think that I'll wrap this up just by saying, I know that a lot of you guys are moms that watch my channel, and first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for supporting me and getting me to the point where this is even a possibility, because without you guys, this would not be able to lift off the ground at all. And
she'd still be my assistant.
Stop. Without you guys, just none of this would even be possible. So I want you to realize that every single day when I wake up, I'm grateful for you and I appreciate you, and it's all because of you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please give it a thumbs up if you're excited. Stay tuned for another video soon. Hopefully there will be another video on Friday with an update, but this is just where we're at so far, and we have another meeting tomorrow, or our first meeting, our first like one-on-one meeting tomorrow, and so I'll give you guys updates as they come, but we appreciate you. Bye.